Then, then
Okay.
the products, etc.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. I just began the recording now. I thought I should inform you.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, sir. In previous session, we have done the different activities based on the design thinking. In that, we have seen different attitudes, traits, then ignition related to our knowledge and how we can discuss with the students, colleagues, as well as the normal people whenever they are communicating with each other, as well as with the family. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yes, in design thinking, you brought the importance of whether we should focus on need or pain. Sometimes, I mean, most of the times, our focus in empathy processes on pain rather than need. But unless and until we understand the need, we will not be able to design proper product. That's what we study.
Okay.
Sujata, madam, if you can start subtitles, there is a in your settings, it may be option. Sometimes due to audio import, we miss something, you will able to read it.
Sorry,
Okay.
I did not hear you, Dr. Pawar.
Can you start subtitles in the from the settings, subtitles?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Okay. I think, yeah, thank you for all. Basically, this is done to collect, re-associate with the previous interaction. And that is very helpful to the students. And one thing I do is that out of 100 marks, 10 marks are given for class participation. I'll talk about that later. So somebody speaks. If I ask a question, somebody speaks, they will reply, and that will be useful. And the participation in the class is important for conversations to grow, for thought processes to happen. And I think that is, if you have the freedom to change your assessment, that is one way to really have students feel part of the conversation. So that is very important. Now, I have received your homework, and I would like to share, before going to today's lesson, I like to share. I don't know whether I can do justice to everybody, but one thing changed at home, more time, change in relation to colleague, more communication, change relation to a student, empathy, relation with public, more collaborative, and at home, women working, support them, appreciate them, very nice. And then colleague, encouraging colleagues to preparing for UGC, NET, PhD. With the students, more opportunity to give feedback, suggestions in a positive way. With respect to public, more listening, positive way, and ignoring what we don't like. This is generosity at home, cooperative mentality with colleagues, engagement with students, more communication with public, and focusing on healthy food preparation than the tasty at home. Very interesting. To listen, so that's a colleague, more listening, and listen first and talk later or respond later. Students interact you by involving them. Those small questions, very good. Okay. And this is a very interesting way with respect to public. I am nothing. Very interesting, philosophical. In fact, I've gone through that a lot of times. Yesterday, I attended a engagement, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and beginning I was feeling I'm nothing here, I'm nobody here. But all of a sudden I became somebody and everybody was talking to me. But that nothingness is actually very interesting. I really like, our Puranas and our, what do you call, Upanishads, Purnasya Purnamedavadaya Purnameva Vishishyati. Actually, nothingness is completeness in a way. It's a very, very philosophical. So remain in present, ultimately helping to forget about what is, that is, we all can imbibe that. And family member to be self-dependent, absolutely. This is something very important. And I'll share with you a video in WhatsApp, especially women empowerment. Of course, this will vary from community to community, country to country, but somebody has done a work where it is startling to see the gender difference. So I think gender difference is one we have to really be mindful of. With colleague appreciating, this is superb. So one thing I do is, whatever comes to my mind, I relate to myself. So I try to crack jokes and I try to do small talks. I try to share about my family, my wife at home in India, my son looking for a girl. These are all very interesting talks. And there are two frameworks I use: sense of belonging, sense of mattering. Someone has to feel you belong to, say, for example, the college, and everybody will be feeling that to a certain degree or other. But will every student, every staff, everybody in the management, do they feel they matter to the college, or the college matters to them? The degrees will be quite different and varying. So in order to have that sense of mattering, self-dependency, definitely appreciating more, you need to be more transparent. That's why you need to be more appreciative. When somebody does something, appreciate, thank you very much. Or, you can say that dhanyavad or in the local language. That will make a lot of difference. And I would like to recall a Tamil movie. I think it was dubbed in Hindi as well. I don't know the exact name. Vasul Raja, MBBS. That was the Tamil one. In Hindi, it was different. So this Gunda person wanted to join and do MBBS. And he changes a lot of things, status quo, disrupts for a positive thing. So one day, there is a person who cleans the floor and nobody gives any attention to him. Meaning he doesn't matter to them and they don't matter to him. This is a very profound situation depicted in our movies. And this Gunda person who joins a college, he walks in and this person is cleaning. When the person sees the person, the Gunda walking in, he stops and moves sideways, giving way for the person to move. This is what he does every time, the cleaner. And the Gunda person says, no, don't give way for me. What you are doing is the most important thing in a hospital. Because if the floors, if the spaces are not disinfected, that will lead to more diseases. And he goes and hugs that person. And that transforms that person. He started believing he matters to that particular institution to that process for the health and everything. And I learned from that. And from that day, it was 20 years back, I started hugging people. I started respecting everybody. So if you come here, I look at the cleaners, elderly women, we respect, gives little 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds extra given attention to them. So I went to Indonesia 2 weeks back. That's why I could not have the lessons for you. And I went to a remote village, Malang. Malang is actually a Sanskrit word, Malangueshwara. Mala means not good, Escritia. Angusha means weapon, Ishvara means God. So God destroys bad thing. And, there they had a buffalo dance. If you are interested, I can share you that as well, which is on my YouTube. And they presented very nicely. We gave money to them. I gave money to them. And I felt like hugging them. I hugged them, and that made a lot of difference. Okay, so we can do small gestures to make that very unique in our life. And I strongly believe we all have one life in this world, only one life. Of course, you have the karma, chakra, the rebirth, everything is there. I mean, keeping that aside, we have to make our job, our life, our colleagues' life the best, and our students' life the best. Great. So in relation to the students' opportunity to express their viewpoint, very good. Feedback from public positively. Shoe stand for keeping shoes, organization, very nice, done. And then polite manner to colleagues, every time, extended welcome, every time coming to contact with respect to students, nice. Cleaning the public road, wow, really appreciate it. I would like to say this thing. In India, the culture was shown in all our temples to clean, to be follow standard operating procedures, and to be coexisting with the nature, the flowers, the chandan, and all kinds of things used for puja. And that is to really be part of the, nature. Unfortunately, because of foreign occupation, as well as we got, capitalism, it is required, but we lost that connection. We left everything in the temples, all the good things. We did not transform that to our organizations. We need to have our own organizational thoughts. How do we really do that? So cleaning public road, amazing. When I see something on the floor, I pick it up. In Singapore, it's very serious. Anything littering is very serious. Changing the television set location, very nice, good start, okay? Information required to the colleague, in common format, student understand their problems, utilizing more time with friends, absolutely. And cupboard was changed, communication with colleagues improved, discussion with the students, and especially those who got less marks, evening with people in the society, very good. Sofa set was changed, problems of colleagues before assigning the task, very good empathy. Psychological problems becomes barrier for academic performance. Absolutely, this is very important. So today morning before this seminar, your talk, I had to meet someone as one of the students. He has a lot of problems at home and in academics. A listening ear will make a lot of difference. And to time for relatives to attend important family functions. This is, we have to encourage a lot. Nucleus families and other things are not good. Study table change, more information shared with colleagues, understanding the problems of students, more time with family. Capacity of my son, amazing, very nice. Yeah, yesterday, someone whom I do not know much told a comment about me and my son. I did not push my son to become excellent in studies. I wanted to having a life, wonderful life. And I give him inputs when required. But he has become an engineer, he has become an entrepreneur. He has 2 startups in India, and his first startup is cash positive with the Atmanirbhar Bharat India, amazing, 3 projects from Indian Navy. So this person told me, Prahlad, you did not make your son to suffer during your his school days. I was surprised. I did not know that he understood that. Very interesting capacity, how much he can do, how much he cannot do, or she can do, or she cannot do. I mean, this is empathy part, the question 2 part, putting yourself in the shoes, very nice. Motivating students, very good. Ignore arrogance, wonderful. I mean, this is something we have to practice. And I've been practicing, and I've done that, and very useful to me. Care of the parents, hats off to you. And happy moving, wonderful. Interactive sessions, great. How to act in a situation, superb. Responsible member in the house, great. Proactiveness in working, wonderful. Active participation, time and money management, absolutely nice. New wardrobe, wonderful. Acceptance and patience, helping the needy students, attitude, environment, wonderful. Stopped instant reaction. This is great. Take a break. Brood over. Yesterday, I spoke to my son, the same thing I told. Let us do not conclude now. You sleep over it. Next day, we'll discuss. Positive angle towards activities, increase discussion with students, increase patience level with public, some changes, adjustments to be calm and patient, superb. Old, dead, unhealthy thoughts. Wow. My goodness. That is very tough, but it is especially, it is very much required. Wow, new thoughts inflow, wonderful. Cooperative learning, great. Humanity of people, superb. Bed, sofa, bookshelf, and you rearrange your racks, very nice. Talking to very politely and kindly with colleagues, interest in their interest of the students, living in truth, cooperative nature, wonderful. Stopped watching TV. I stopped watching television news 25 years back. I stopped reading newspapers 20 years back. And now only thing I get is WhatsApp, but I'm very clear, if they share bad thing, I react. I say, this is not for me. I don't want to, pollute my brain. You don't have any right. I'll say, if you don't stop, I get out. So even jokes, gender-based jokes, I react very badly or very good, okay? So it's very good, nice, okay? Cultural living without worry, made them confident students, acceptance, tolerance level, eating more fruits, wonderful, fruit juice and healthy diet. Yesterday, one of my friends said, 5 vegetables, the quantity of them equal, and he has a rice equal to the quantity of 1 fruit. So rice has, 1 vegetable. The rice has become a side dish. Wonderful. Different activities to encourage for students, health conscious, proper diet, wherever possible in the public, clean, wonderful house and surroundings, listen before talks, great, guide them as mentors, superb, live and let live. Old, 70 years old. Mine is 170 years old, okay? That's why my wife went back to look after it, not looking after me. Try to put various things at proper places, superb. Listen to colleagues by giving respect to their thoughts, great. Stop talking with students with a louder. This is very good because we have a tendency, we talk loudly. And most times that will really keep students thinking, stop students thinking. Be mild, very nice, okay? Giving respect to the people in the community. Boring in sense of aesthetics, I can relate to that. did not feel fresh. Try to add a few things in my house to make the sweet home. Every space, you can convert that into that, flower pots, motivational photo, home clean daily, super. So if you come to my office, I have 2 offices, I have 2 positions, nothing on the table. You come in, oh, is this a professor's office? This professor is useless. I try to speak politely with my colleagues, help my colleagues try to understand concern, unnecessary arguments. Amazing, amazing. Because most times the arguments lead to quite a lot of issues. Give respect and take respect. This is amazing. I use, one thing I always use the word lady, okay, when I talk to ladies. And 2 of my former students whom I am mentoring, and I didn't get their permission to say one of them lost husband after 3 months of marriage, the other got a divorce, and the other has some other problem. So 3 of them. And one of them said, after graduating, Prof, what I like most about you is you address us ladies in the classroom, ladies. And that makes a lot of difference to them. I did not know that will make a lot of difference. So I learned from them. Listening to them without judgment, amazing. Take things positively, correct information with share correct information, authentic, very important. Proper time and requirement of the students to understand proper time with proper people, very nice. Made TV switch off, aha, very nice. Accepting colleagues, sincerely relating to students, and listening in public. Study material change, position change, not to lose temper with the colleague. Maximum examples to students, grasping opportunity to interact, superb. Mood change, great. House, anger management with colleagues, superb. Emotional management skills with students, and positive thinking, public, nice. Independent at home, this is superb. Everyone for their work and guiding newly joined colleagues, superb. Motivate to learn industry requirement, great. Speak politely and listen first with public. Started to spend more time with families, superb. Helping each other and understanding each other's strength and weakness. By the way, the previous one, mobile phone switching off. In Singapore, our mobile phones are private. We don't share with anybody. Nobody is allowed to call me outside the office hours. They can call me in my office number. They can email me. And it's very strict. Even some of my colleagues' mobile numbers, I don't know. In India, this is the other extreme. I'm not saying one is bad and other is great, but we have to be mindful of that. More supportive to the students in terms of their career, be attentive in public, time and activity management, listen to colleagues' ideas during discussions, student-centric activities, vegetarian, using vegan, very nice. A lot of people are becoming vegetarian and vegan. One country, one university, and I forgot, in Europe or US, the students voted completely to have vegan to be served in the campus, completely. It is a ground up, not imposed from top down. I don't remember the university. Started play with son, very nice. You're a blessed man. Frank and friendly with colleagues, changes in their confidence of students, able to handle situations superb, listen more carefully, solve problems, locations of some things at home which feels fresh, good, precious time with colleagues, changes in their confidence and making them handle any situation, listen to them careful, okay? Strength of the family, good, frank and friendly with colleagues, skills help succeed in future careers, ignore arrogance in public. This is very interesting, living in a relationship with the right understanding, living with human consciousness. Sahi samaj ke saath samvat mein jeena, okay, manavina chedana ke saath jeena. Wonderful, great. Work with priorities, good. Reward system encourage family. He introduced something in myself that's very interesting. Okay, students would learn flexibility, good performance attitude at work, flexibility in the department, interdisciplinary project work. So very good. Thank you, Sujata ji, for sharing this particular, compiling this up. It's an
Thank you.
amazing work, each one of you. So I would like to state this. With 2 hours, how much change has happened? Changes cannot be measured in terms of length and width and breadth and height. A simple gesture is a great change that will transform you, transform your family, transform your colleagues, transform your students, transform the public. And this is something which is very much required. And really pranams to each and every one of you. Please continue doing it. Please do more, and let us make our lives and others' lives the best in this universe. Okay? So Ziada ji, anything you wish to say?
No, like you just mentioned, it was very interesting to go through all of these. And in fact, it brought a great perspective change for us as well. Inward thinking is what I would say. It encouraged inward thinking. So, you begin to look at yourself and look at your environment much better.
Yeah.
So it brought little change in ourselves also. So we gave like different thoughts initially up to maybe Friday, no one was ready to write those answers assignment because we are not ready to become like children, kids to write assignments. But
Wonderful.
when everyone started writing, they started even discussing also what you wrote. Oh, yours is good than me. And why I could not get this part. And so this kind of discussion also initiated. So it's good assignment. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So shall we move on? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let us go to the next stage. Okay. And there's something quoting from Einstein. If you can't solve a problem on the same level that it was created, you have to rise above it to the next level. That's why you have to have bird's eye view, helicopter view, put yourself in the shoes of others, empathy, and all the reflections you have shared, each one of you, you are doing this by transforming, seeing it bigger, wider, and louder. So keep it up. That's a mentality we all have to have. Okay. Now, I will show the next slide, and you'll be given 2 minutes to write down, each one of you individually. You don't have to share with others or with me or Sujata ji. You keep that, and we'll come back to that at a later point in time. Okay. So you have 2 minutes to think and write down. Identify 2 frustrations and 2 dreams. This is individual. Write it down in your sheet of paper. And then this could be at a personal level, house level, home level, colleague level, institution level, academic, career, anything, or public or nation itself. Okay? hope you could complete. If you need more time, let me know. Another 30 seconds to go. Good enough? Do you need more time? You can continue writing also. Okay, so we'll move on. Okay, this is the idea here is that to crystallize some thoughts, and these thoughts, when you have a lot of frustrations, we all have, or dreams, when you start to really putting it down on sheet of paper, some of the frustrations will vanish, some of the dreams will fly away, will be more realistic. Okay, that is one part of it. Second is to prioritize the frustrations and dreams. The third is that you keep these frustrations and dreams alive with you. And then we go through this lecture, the process of innovation, whether you will find your own way to manage those frustrations and to reposition those dreams. So that's why, it is being done. So it is more a personal growth point of view, okay, management point of view. Okay, let us move on. So this module or this course is about innovation and enterprise. So we have two questions. What is innovation? What is enterprise? So I'd like to ask you, what is your thought about innovation? Can you say something, either type or audio? What is innovation? And more than one person can speak, even if the same thought is there with others, you can repeat it.
That is right.
Somebody was speaking. Yeah.
Doing things differently than it's not normal way is innovation.
It was not very clear. So someone who is close to the mic can speak. Repeat that.
Then it's a normal way. Doing things differently than it's a normal way.
Sujata ji, is it clear for you?
No, not very clear. It sounds as though it is coming from very far off, actually.
Yeah, correct.
So I think Dr. Pawar, maybe you can take it because we could hear you clearly.
Or somebody can type also.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vidyarani ji. Yeah, we can hear you clearly. Only there is some echoing, but otherwise it's fine.
You can type here also. Yeah.
Doing things differently than it's normal way.
Doing things differently than
Ah.
its normal way is what is been defined, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Very interesting. Any other thoughts? Then it is normal way. Okay. Thank you. Very nice. Yeah. Something new. Yeah. Good. Very nice. So in the interest of time, I will move on. So what you said is right. A new idea, new product, new method, or new process. Okay. Now the next question is, what is an enterprise? Again, you can type and speak or type or speak. What is an enterprise? Before that, I would like to say there is something very important, knowledge in and money out. That's innovation. Okay. Knowledge goes in and money comes out. Now, what is enterprise? It's a business. Very interesting. So it's basically a business or organization. Okay. what happens is the vehicle of transportation, idea to business, correct, thank you. Vehicle of transportation from knowledge to money. Innovation is knowledge goes in, money comes out. What happens in between? And that is the enterprise. Now here, I did not speak when you are expected to share. And that silence is very important for students to think, and they will learn that I will not continue unless they speak. And this is something which you can use in classroom, not in a manner to make them uncomfortable. Also, if somebody speaks a bad or wrong comment or give a wrong comment, don't really say no to that. Don't get angry with them. That is a thought. Every thought is genuine. It may be wrong. That's fine. Oh, okay, that's interesting. You move on. Maybe we can bring little more clarity to this and let us understand it. You can try to make it different. Okay, yeah. So knowledge in, money out, the black box in between, that's a vehicle to transport from knowledge to money. Okay. Now, this list is not complete, but Grab taxi, or in India, it is Uber. Uber doesn't own anything. They don't own taxis, but they are doing business with properties that are not owned by them, or Airbnb. There are quite a lot of interesting innovations. So it is good to learn when you see something new, good to really give your attention. So I suggest you to be LinkedIn members, LinkedIn. Become a member. There is a professional networking space and a lot of sharings happen. There is another website called medium.com, and it shares a lot of things. So you can keep reading, even if you don't understand everything, good to read, okay? So I move on. Now, as far as this course is concerned, the objectives are to focus on new product development, or in short, NPD. The NPD process from conceptualization, design to development of products. And I teach in the engineering faculty, that's why I put that technology oriented. But if you are coming from pharmacy, if you're coming from arts and science, it could be relevant to those. Or technology can be used in pharmacy. So for example, our students work on dispensing pills. In the pharmacy, we do that. And also for medical, one example is using camera, video system, surveillance system kind of camera, or dedicated camera to really keep track of the inventory of the tools used for operation before and after, and so that human error is not there, and if something is missing, they'll be able to really identify it. So very interesting, a lot of projects are there. And this course integrates innovation strategies, product planning, marketing, design, manufacturing, and finance for a new product development. It also integrates design thinking concept into the product development process. So you have started walking along the design thinking. So empathy, you understanding, putting yourself in the shoes of others, seeing the same space differently, same house differently, understanding your family members, students, and as well as colleagues and public. So you have started walking. And another part is communication and presentation skills. Okay, and this oral and written is very critical. So in my module or course here in Singapore, we have language lecturers coming and sharing this. So I will see whether towards the end I can share something about it for you, which you can use in any subject, any course in your institution. The outcomes, and this is important from accreditation point of view, but it is not It is positioned from a verb to every outcome is considered as a starting with a verb like formulate, evaluate, ability to give, practice, able to contribute and work. So you know the accreditation process. Formulate new product design specifications based on evaluation of customer needs and opportunities identified. Evaluate environmental, societal, and economic impact of engineering solutions. So the carbon footprint, so much is being wasted. So you recall, my grandma never allowed me to even waste one grain of rice. I even follow that. I share with my students. And everything is valuable, even the toothpick. Ability to give a persuasive presentation on a new product and business analysis. Practice elements of project management, time management, and perform risk analysis pertaining to new products. Ability to write complete, well-organized, coherent reports based on research, group work, and self-learning. Contribute and work effectively in large group and team environments. All these are required. Any engineering or non-engineering workspaces, whether it is in India or elsewhere. So this is a very generic course that helps in all this. The other objectives is to understand the product development process, appreciate the multidisciplinary approach to new product development. Engineers cannot do everything. Scientists cannot do everything. Arts and science people cannot do everything. So we need to have people with diverse backgrounds to contribute to. And this is very important with the Industry 4.0. The specialization boundaries are vanishing. For example, if you take in my university here, we have transformed engineering as well as arts and science and other faculties drastically and very differently. First 2 years common for engineering, every engineering specialization, every engineering department. Then third year and fourth year, you can take one major, one minor, two majors, two specializations, all kinds of combinations. The advantage is that if you want to have both electronics degree and mechanical, you can do that. If you want to have computer science and biomedical, you can do that. Or if you want to have mechanical and music, you can do that. That is an amazing way, flexibility, because we humans, when I started my life, I did not know much about myself. I'm 58 plus now, and if you ask me how much I know about myself, I know a lot, but I do not know a lot about me. Or rather, I do not know how to articulate myself. So the process of self-discovery is an ongoing one. So students have to be given the kind of freedom. So if you have autonomous status, you can change the syllabus. Please change and let us do something new. And acquire the confidence and competence in developing new product. Okay. Now, the exercise we did with what you can change, that is simple at your level, house level, colleagues level, students level, public level. But then you are trying to practice it, then you'll get the confidence, oh, I can change. Everybody's changing. And today we spend half an hour to share everybody's input because you need to know how everybody is thinking. Different people think differently. That's also very good. Okay? So that will bring in confidence and competence. So even a change at home is a new product or process. Okay? So with that, we need to really understand what are the processes involved in new product development. So some of you may be aware of this. Some of you may be teaching this, but I will try to go through them as we walk through this course in the next multiple number of weeks. First, you have to, of course, the ideation is not shown here. I'll talk about that soon. You have to plan, you have to have a mission. That mission needs to be approved. Then if you have an opportunity to innovate, if you have an idea to innovate, different concepts for that opportunity, that gap, that idea to be developed. So you have to develop the concepts. And of course, it has got its own processes within. We'll walk through that. Then you have to have some design, system level design. And that may be broader, that may be, may not be final. Then later you will do a detailed design, okay? Detailed design, just like what you do in some of your laboratories, or when you do post-graduation or finally a project or your PhD. Then you have to test and refine and finally ramp up production. Hundreds of thousands of the same unit, or millions or billions of the same units. Think of mobile phone factories, Apple, Samsung, Google, how much they have to do. So once you start the production ramp up, you cannot change the design. So you have to really go through this process very seriously. Okay. So that's why, from other point of view, deliverables will be a new product idea that is patentable. So patents are important. Specifications with accompanying brochures, comprehensive realistic product development plan. All these are deliverables when I do for the students. Now, generally I give certain themes also for the students, but this is mostly confined to electrical, computer, electronics, engineering, but medical as well, social as well, but engineering content is there. But this has to be positioned properly according to the requirement. So I'm not going to talk about them. So how do I teach lectures, videos, case studies, exercises in class as well as online? And classes have to be interactive, may not cover all the slides. It's not to read all the slides. It's not to read all the text. And attendees are expected to read the assigned chapters and papers before the class for better engagement. Actually, the questions are asked. So when questions are asked and people talk, you give marks for them, then that will encourage others to really talk more. And for them to talk more, reading is important. So these are all very, self-sustaining point of view to have active discussions. And so typically lecture and case studies, exercises, workshop. So 2 parts will be there. Okay? And the textbook is Product Design and Development 6th edition, Ulrich, Carl T. and Stephen Eppinger. I don't know whether you have that book in your library. So material is taken from this book. You may also look at New Product Management, Crawford, Murley, Anthony. So if you don't have these books, may I suggest you can write to them, and the publishers get free copies for you to refer to.
So
And yeah,
we got textbooks as well as study material also we got from published.
okay, great. Thank you very much.
Can you give 5-minute break before you start?
So, oh yeah, yes. You want to have a break?
Actually, little venue overlapping is happening. So we have arranged another venue. We have to shift in 5-minute. Exactly 11:05 will come back.
Okay, you have to move to another venue.
Yes, 11:05.
Okay. Okay, sure. Yeah. That's
Take
fine.
5. Yes. Everyone, please.
I request you please log out from here so that it, yeah.
Sorry, what is that?
No, no, no.
Sujata ji?
For this very team, I was asking them to log out from that particular boardroom because they might be having somebody else there, right?
Ah, yeah. Yes.
Right.
You can.
Actually, now the audio is much better. Okay, so the book you have already. And, yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay, so we'll move on. So in this course for the students, I give the distribution of marks like this. And you have to do at least the insights paper, okay? At the end of it, okay? I don't give marks, but your head or principal can give you something. So class participation in class 10, online learning management system, 10%. Project 1 gave 20%, that is individual. Project 2 group, project 3 group. So 50% individual and 50% group. And this is a proper balance. If you can try to do something, if wherever possible, try to do a kind of a balance between group and individual. Because some students are good at individual work, some students are good at group work. So it is a kind of a balance, okay? Yeah. And I have put in more details here. Project 1, new product idea, business opportunity to be evaluated. And project 1 is submit a new idea, product idea proposal. Then they are given 60 seconds, 1 minute, one PowerPoint, no animation. They should not touch the PowerPoint. It will be projected on the screen and they have to speak only for 60 seconds. So if you look at it, some students think 60 seconds is too short before they start practicing it. When they start practicing it, they will think that 60 seconds is too long. And so you have to do this. Typically, it's a process you go through. And some students by heart and share, that is not the way it is required to be expected. Now, I don't know about your institution, but typically we have a wrong notion. Looking at the notes when you speak is considered as bad. For us, it is not. So we'll even inform them if you want to have a small, sheet of what do you call that, Sujata ji? It's a kind of a note-taking small sheet or paste it. You write down your points and you refer to it and then speak. And that is allowed. But it is something like a glancing through the supporting material, not reading from the material. So glancing. Glance is a word to use. Okay. Yeah. So you can highlight to this. So why I am saying this is most times how much support is given to our students to become good in what they do. So when you say glancing, they know what it is and they prepare for it. And not to read from that, they will get a feel of it. So, and attendees to vote for top 5 ideas, okay, at the end of the pitching. Attendees will form teams based on their interest. This is creating a market. Market is a place where you don't know where people come from. There are strangers. And somehow if say apple, orange, or buns, or laddu we are selling, the market will have its own dynamics. And sometimes something will sell very fast. So 2 weeks back when I mentioned I went to Indonesia, Malang, they have a very interesting mechanism. They bring vegetables from all over the place into a common market. It's very big, huge. To tell you the gravity of that, every day their vegetable waste is 3 ton, 3 ton, okay? Vegetable waste, 3 ton. Then you imagine how much they produce. So I went there to understand the process, and even the military personnel was there, the police personnel was there, and the village head and council members were with us. So that is the seriousness with which Indonesia does their agricultural processes. So there, what I saw was by noon, certain items vanished, completely sold. Certain items, some are balancing, certain items more are balancing. And they were saying it varies from day to day. So that's the market. So the market decides. And that's why this voting is required. Now, what I specifically mention is, don't never, ever vote for your friends. That is not what market is. You have to vote for the idea. This you have to reiterate multiple times. Once you say, they may forget it. So you have to reiterate it. And also think about what the idea is going to, what will the idea, the selected ideas, or the voted idea is going to transform you, the people, the surroundings. So you have to really position their mindset in that manner. And then when they form groups, I put 5 members in a group. 2 is not good, 3 is 2 plus 1, 4 is even, 5 is reasonable. And 40 students are there, then 8 groups. That's how I look at it. And I inform them, or I direct them not to join an idea just because it is your friend. And also don't join in a group because friends are coming together. No, it's not friendship. It's about your capability. Suppose you think I'm good at programming and I can contribute to that project. Have that clarity in them. Also, somebody is good at report writing. He or she can be there. Or somebody is good at pitching presentations. Somebody is good at market survey in the internet. So you have to really see the capabilities of the people and make the group formation more, what you call multidisciplinary, multiple capabilities being coming together and trying to make the group doing things great. And this is a culture that has to be inculcated, and it will take certain amount of time, maybe a couple of semesters, and then they will see, and you as facilitators have to step in to make each and every group to do better. Now we have a notion that teachers are not supposed to help students in their projects. That's not completely right. We can. So I tell them, if you have any difficulty, come to me. And they will ask me, is this correct? Yes, go ahead, you can do more. If somebody is coming forward, ask them to do more. So that what happens is that the outcome of that will be some students do excellent work. That will motivate themselves and others. So the average standard will go up. And then next year, they will do better. Another thing I do is I take the best previous semesters, project reports, presentations, even storyboard, and I share with the new group. Let them have a starting point. Copying is not the issue. Copying, you can really find out whether they're copying or not. But giving them templates, giving them sections and subsections, giving them previous year's project reports will help them to really know, oh, I'm doing better. Oh, I can relate to it. So sometimes we know, oh, you shared that with me, or I could read it and I understand now better. I can do it differently. So that is the capability that we have to grow. That is a capability that we have to really tickle and bring the best out of them. And I'll tell you that can happen anywhere in the world. It does not matter a student has 80% of marks or 90% of the mark. Okay. So I'm giving a lot of inputs from the point of view of that process. Okay. So you may note it down and you can utilize it. And you may, when the insights paper you have to write at the end of this course, 2 pages you have to write. There is no format for it. It's free flow, your insights. And you may let me know how you are implementing some of the thoughts, how you are planning to implement, or you want to have your own way of implementing it differently. Okay. Yeah. So this is project 1. And project 2, this is a group project where specifications and IP, intellectual property. So before all these submission dates, I would be completing all the requirements in terms of lectures. And invention disclosure, there is a format. We have a format. So your university can create a format, invention disclosure. I don't know whether you have it, but if you can have it, that'll be very nice. And new product concept can be presented in the class. Each group presentation, 12 minutes, another 3 minutes for question and answer. And this 12 minutes will include 1 minute of storyboard. I can share you storyboards later. Now, why this presentation is required? So for example, project 1, lot of ideas being shared. Just like you shared about the things you change at home with respect to colleagues, students and public, and that is shared with everybody, and that really is a multiplying impact on each and every one of you. Similarly, here the students study and they share. The sharing is a learning. So it is pure learning, okay? Learning from peers. And there, when a student group shares, that will have an impact on the rest of the group, rest of the class, wherein they think, oh, they have put in effort to do it. I could have done better, or I have done better, or I will do better. And this is something which will really ignite knowingly or unknowingly in everybody's mind. The third project is where development plan, project management, financial projections, sensitivity analysis, we will go through that. Again, 12 plus 3 minutes and 3 minutes of question and answer. So these 3 projects will go through various processes which they have to do in any company, whether software, whether hardware, embedded systems, or social, even in government processes. All these have to be utilized. Unfortunately, I don't know how much it is used and taught. So in Kerala Technological University, I gave them that everybody should learn innovation enterprise. Also, I shared in Vaibhav Summit, I did not present it at the national level, to include this course in every space, every educational space. I'm not sure whether anybody is doing that. So that is the background of the course. Okay. Now, any comments at this moment before we move on? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. I move on. Okay.
Yes,
So-
no problem. You can continue.
Okay. Okay. Now, there are 3 parts to this. I don't know whether I can complete the human side of project management today. We spend some good time for sharing, so I may push it to another date. Okay. So the first is new product development and organization. Then you have to bring in design thinking methodology. I have suggested you to go through the deep dive video over YouTube. You might have watched, I'll play it back as well. Then the human side of project management, which I will try to put it in a different date, okay, if I cannot complete it today. So what is a new product? This is, we need to understand. Now, there are some of them put here. One is the technology comes and then you push a product, or the market demands a new product, or you have a product that is a platform. We'll talk about that soon. Or it could be a product where the intensive processes are there, or it could be customized. So let us look each one of them, you know, in its way. So we have to look at the technology push. Okay. So technology starts with the technology. I mean, this model of new product development starts with technology and then finds a market. I'm not sure how many of you know the difference between the market and technology. Technology is what is inside the product. Market is people. The people buy it, people use it, and organizations buy it, use it, or governments buy it and use it. That's a market. Okay, it's a very, from this context I am talking about that. Now, the technology is created first, and then it creates a market for that technology. I'd like to ask you, can you give an example for this? Can you think of an example? Anyone?
Composite material is a technology. Composite material is a technology, and then the aircraft and other helicopter components are product.
Yeah, that's right. So if you look at, say, MP3 player, okay, people do not know anything about MP3. Nobody knows about it. Nobody knows the technology. The users does not know anything about it. And the people did not demand it. So before MP3 player was introduced, I don't think before this was introduced, the idea was muted. If you do a survey among the users, public, will they be saying, oh, I need an MP3 player? No, they cannot. Now, in my childhood, we had tape recorders. I mean, the tape-based audio systems. And then came the CD-ROM. At that time, at the most, I could have 10 to 12 audio songs in a CD. Now, the same CD, you can have thousands of songs in MP3 format, and the quality has not reduced. So MP3, MP4, all these audio, video related codecs, compression techniques have transformed our lives. And now we are doing all this sharing because of all this coding and encoding. So this is technology push. So for example, emails, before emails and after email came, that is something not ground up. It is from the technology, or microwaves, or smartphones. Everything is like that. Okay, so you can, when you see anything around you, you have to really think, oh, where it came from. Is it technology push, or then let us see market pull. The market starts with the customers, then demands, and then finds the technology. So can you give an example of a market? Customers demanded something?
Can I answer that, Pralhadji?
Yes, Sujata ji, yes.
COVID related, all the devices that came.
Yes, it's very interesting. Yeah. Quite a lot of things. Yeah. Others? Pagampur?
Maybe elevators, elevators, lifts and
Yeah.
elevators.
Okay.
Elevators, I think he's saying. Yes, Dr. Yeah,
Yes,
elevators.
yes, lifts and elevators.
Lift and elevators.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So one example is a thin television. Now, CRT, cathode ray tubes based televisions were there in our childhood, some of your childhood. Okay. And if you really read in US, the cathode ray tube television became popular before it happened in India. And if you go through the literature, the number of accidents happen, especially kids, either died or passed away or injured because the children try to reach out to the television and the television tried to fall on them, and because if you look at the width of the depth of the television, it is just good enough for putting it on a table. So many people, so many kids died. So people were asking, Bini, can we have a thinner one? So this was coming from the customer's point of view. And there are quite a lot of things like that you can see in everywhere you can see. So for example, the parents push some things with the student, with your children, and some children will demand from the parents. You can look at it from that angle as well. The third is platform product. So model builds around pre-existing technology platform, and you may have derivatives and variants. Okay. So any idea about that? Any thoughts, folks?
Teaching platforms like Byju's and Academy.
I could not hear properly. Sujata ji, could you hear?
No, I'm sorry, I
Teaching
couldn't.
platforms like Unacademy, Byju's, etc.
Teaching platforms like Unacademy and Byju's and others.
Okay.
So that pre-existing technology was there. Models were built around those.
And even OTT platforms.
Sorry, which platforms?
OTT.
OTT, yeah.
Yeah, quite a lot of things like that. Now I give the example as a iPhone because iPhone is a platform. On top of it, a lot of apps came on top of it. So you can, and in fact, I'll talk about iPhone at a later date, what is unique about it when it started in 2007. So iPhone has, actually before iPhone, there were similar products. I remember seeing it, but it did not become what iPhone has become or iPhone could become, and later other smartphones could become. There is there are certain important aspects about it, okay? So you can build on top of it. So there are a lot of applications on top of it. The Android also same, okay? And this another one is process intensive product. So process places strict constraints on properties of product, and product design cannot be separated from the production process design even at an early concept stage. This is there everywhere, and you're all using it. Any example?
Sugar factories.
Sugar factory. Okay.
Or
So
production.
yeah, typical example is UPI, Unified Payment Interface. It has got different kinds of security layers, at the outcome, I mean, at the interface level for the user, it is very simple. But if you look at inside it, the logic, the transfer protocols, as well as the securities are quite big. So 2 weeks back, Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister of Singapore, they jointly inaugurated UPI linking with Singapore's Pay Now application, so that people coming from India and Singapore can pay through their UPI, or Singaporeans coming to India can pay through their Pay Now application. So this is very process intensive, whether it is GPay, Paytm, there are quite a lot of things, security, and quite a lot of examples. Now, customized product, that is slight variation of existing products developed in response to order by a customer. So specific orders are considered. Any examples for this, people you can think about?
Printed bags for the event.
Okay, 3D printed, right? Yeah. Now, one typical example I give is, what is this? Any idea? This is from India.
Jodhpur Foods.
Absolutely, Jaipur food. I went there and I saw the way they have done it. Amazing work they have done. And it is one of its kind. You know why they have created it? Afghanistan, Pakistan, India border, there are a lot of mines, especially between Afghanistan and other countries. During the Cold War, a lot of people lose their legs and they come here. It is costing only very little. I mean, less than 2,000 or 3,000 rupees. And people come there, they can jump, they can run, they can pedal the bicycle, they can swim, they can climb a tree. I've seen them doing with all this. And it has got different parts. Yeah, it's very nice design they've done. Okay, so you have seen the different possible products. Okay, technology push, market pull, platform product, process intensive, customized. So keep that in mind wherever you go. Okay, yeah, whatever you look at it. Now, in a new product development organization, there should be marketing team who will do the market research and what promotions are to be done. And then there will be engineering and design, industrial design, electronic and mechanical. This I position from the point of view of engineering point of view. There could be other things also. And so, for example, even if pharma industry, so for example, my son and my former students, our companies are working for pharma industry in US. And so how to create filling and finish stations with robots and automated systems into vials, so that quite a number of vials are holding the medicine, can be filled and properly packed and capped and then distributed. Okay, then that's the manufacturing part, production, procurement, packaging, and also required finance, legal, and sales. So all these our students understand that they will know how much thought process is required, how much details are required, and why certain products cost 99 rupees, 2,999 rupees, or 10,000, or 1 lakh, or 10 lakhs, or 30 lakhs, or 1 crore, or more. So people have to understand the value of this. See, for example, in government colleges in India, the fees is very little. Actually, I have suggested in many places, don't do like that. You state actually the amount of fee in government colleges and how much is the state subsidizing it. For example, the salaries of the staff, the land, the buildings, the equipment, and legal, publicity, website, transportation, canteen, labs, everything. you have to really put that together and how much per student the fees will be. And this is not done properly by people. So here in Singapore, what we do is that the actual fee is, say, suppose 80,000 Singapore dollars, and it is subsidized heavily for, say, the Singapore citizens, maybe 1/10, and then maybe foreigners pay this much. But if you take loan from bank, you have to pay only this much. So all the details are given. Anybody spoke in between? No, right? Yeah. So it is very important to understand the value of new product. So an engineering college is a product, a department is a product, each course is a product, how much effort is required, how much financial commitment is required. All this have to be understood by every stakeholder. And this is not being properly done. That's why people don't respect the space, the products, and damages happen, and quite a lot of things there. Now, if you have this, you may read this NPD organization, organizing and leading heavyweight development teams. This is California Management Review. I don't have this, I cannot share with you, but I mean, even if I have, I cannot share because you have to download yourself. So if you wish to, you can do that. I think some of you may be taking a screenshot and you will be able to do that. Okay, I'll move on. So there are organizations. So if you look at your, department itself, it is a hierarchical one. One head, a couple of professors, associate professors and assistant professors. Now, in India, one big problem is it is a pyramid, that one professor can have at least so many associate and so many assistant. This is not a very good system. So here we have all of them can be assistant, all of them can be associate, all of them can be professor or a combination thereof. There is no restriction. There is no tapering towards the top of the pyramid. But if you go to an organization in a company, you have general manager and functional manager. Different functions they do. The square, the circle, triangle. Maybe somebody is good at mechanical systems, electrical systems, and some finance like that. Or you may have, this is functional organization based on the function, but you have project will require engineers, finance managers, industrial designers. So you have general manager and project managers. The project manager will have multidisciplinary subject matter experts. So that's a difference between functional and project. Okay. Now some people do both. It's a kind of horizontal and vertical. And lightweight project metrics organization, heavyweight will have, quite specific in a horizontal way, and the borders are drawn horizontally. In lightweight project metrics, the borders are drawn vertically. So you have to see who manages what, whether a functional general manager manages or, project managers manage who gets the importance. So for example, whether the head of the department is like a general manager, then in your department, you can have power electronics, control, or robotics, that is function point of view. But then if you want to have a project to be obtained from Department of Science and Technology, you cannot confine to one. You have to have people from different sections or divisions or departments to really have the project report prepared. So these are all happening in your organization, and this is also we have to convey to our students. That's why different capabilities. Somebody is good at market survey, somebody is good at presentation, somebody is good at video, storyboarding, like that. Okay. So those organizations in terms of people subject matter expert, okay, you can have. So generic new product development process, as I mentioned, planning, concept level, system level design, detailed design, testing, refinement, product development, okay? And everywhere you need to have approvals and reviews, because if whatever you spend here, you cannot change anything later after production starts. It is very costly. So for example, my first company, floor cleaning robot, introduced in Bangalore in 2008-9. We were manufacturing the robots in China then. And different parts of the robot, not the electronics part, mechanical one, you have to have molds to be created. These molds will cost a lot because these molds have to be made with special metal. And each and every mold has to last for producing of the order of hundreds of thousands of pieces and hundreds of thousands of times. Okay. So the cost of that mold is very high. And if you change anything in the design, you have to change the mold, and the mold changing will require a lot of money being wasted. That's why you have to do the iterative process. And also the yellow points, these are all high-level decisions, whether to continue or not. Financial decisions, which is worth spending more. You already reach here, spend so much money and time and resources. Is it worth continuing or not? So such decisions are to be taken. So for example, I can give you, when Gmail came into existence, before Gmail, if you look at Hotmail, Yahoo Mail, I had accounts. And there was a time spam was becoming very bad. And we had only 20 megabytes of inbox. So Yahoo and Hotmail were planning to charge 20 megabytes of email server space for users to buy. And then suddenly came Gmail with 1 gigabytes. At that time, that was huge. Now Gmail gives 15 gigabytes, including Google Drive. And Gmail really transformed everything. Their focus was spam will not reach your inbox. And they did it from day one. They're doing it even now, and that's an amazing product. But the same Google who has done so much, if you look at Google Maps, anywhere in the world, now you can travel without difficulty. And that's an amazing multi-mega project Google took up. But the same Google produced a very powerful product. I don't know whether you remember, whether any one of you used it. And it was called Google Wave, W-A-V-E. Anyone knows that? I was the first to use it. You know the capability of that? Your inbox, Gmail inbox, can be shared with others, and you can edit an email collaboratively. So for me, in my company, when we started in 2004, later Gmail came, and when we are writing, we had to write emails where my student and my partner was in Bangalore, and our industrial design was happening in London, UK, and our head office was in Singapore, R&D in Bangalore, and manufacturing in China. And we have to write properly. So my student and me will try to collaboratively edit our emails, either from his inbox or from my inbox, so that we'll not make mistake. 2 eyes will make, or 4 eyes will make better decisions. And then, unfortunately, they withdrew that product because not many people opted for it. So it is not the lack of innovation in the product. It is not the lack of usefulness of that product. It's a lack of awareness, lack of relating to that particular product. That is the market. The market did not make it succeed. So I'll talk towards the end about what is known as new product as success from various angles. Success as a product, success as a business. There are different meanings to this. So the Google Wave, but they transformed that technology, they reused it in Google Docs. So Google Docs, Google Presentations, Google Spreadsheet, Google, equivalent of Microsoft Word Online, now collaboratively edit. And it is being extensively used by universities. So in this course, which I teach here, students use collaborative editing. So why did Google Wave stop? Because they didn't want to continue doing it, because they need a lot of people to maintain it, the server, maintain the security aspects, maintain software improvements, and the cost of that was not benefiting in keeping the product alive. So they kill the product. Okay, so that happens in the world. So you will see so much happening in now with Twitter, so much happening in different companies. All these are, people are not fools. People are not doing it arbitrarily. There will be very clear directions for that. So for example, I was the first person to start journal on frugal innovation through Springer. I've edited a lot of books. I had a major reference work also completed on humanoid robotics, which I've shared last time we met. And Journal of Frugal Innovation, I started. But then 2016, Springer merged with Nature. Nature is the highest citation index or impact factor journal. So publishing in Nature and Science only mainly Nobel laureates or potential Nobel laureates publish. Okay, and Nature, Springer acquired Nature at that time. Then they consolidated and they looked at everything and they tried to look at, our journal was new, just 1.5 years old, and they decided we cannot continue spending people, resources, servers and all for this journal, because the number of submissions were less. It'll take some time to grow, but it was less, and they decided to scrap it and we stopped it. So it happens everywhere. It is not that that journal is bad or anything like that. Okay, so you have to understand this, whether it is the government, whether it is the company, whether it is the social setup or your organization or your students or at home, what needs to be stopped, what needs to be continued, certain things are there. But it depends, there are certain things which will not come under this particular framework. For example, healthcare. Even if one patient is theirs, we need to have to produce. It's not based on, oh, I have only 100 people in Kerala got Nipah, let us do not come up with a solution. That's not the way. So that is where you have to differentiate between market-driven products from human requirement, sustainability, disease-related driven products. Okay. Now, if you look at detailed design and testing and refinement, actually before production ramp up, people design, build and test multiple times, multiple iterations people do. This is very important. Or sometimes design test parallelly they do. Some of this can be parallelly done because some products can have, say, switch mode power supply or the hard disk or the motherboard or the speakers or the screens. You can do it parallel and then you have to integrate and test. So different people go through that. It's a Tycho production development process: define, conceive, design, optimize, verify. So I'm not going into this, but there are quite a number of things. And this is again for the Tycho, very detailed process. These are there available in the book, which I mentioned. So taken from the book. So you can see primary goal, marketing and sales, engineering, quality assurance, manufacturing, purchasing, legal, financial, project management. Quite a lot of things are there. That's why you need to have a lot of resources for right from toothpick to jumbo jets, how much is required. So for example, did you hear what John Biden said when Air India plays 400 plus, Boeing as well as Airbus flights, So I think if I remember correctly, John Biden said that India's order will create 40 million jobs over a period of time. So that's why more enterprises should come, more companies have to come. Government cannot give jobs to everywhere. So this I have conveyed to Kerala, in multiple platforms. So Kerala, needs to have more private companies. Any comments here before we move on? We have another 10 minutes and I have 4 slides and I cannot complete on the human side of project management. We'll do that later. Now, design thinking,
No problem, Doctor.
Okay. Now, design thinking you might have read, and here what the users want, whether it is technically feasible, whether it is viable as a business. So you get inputs from users and customers to understand the user desirability. That is a circle, shown as a circle. Not everything can be implemented in a technical point of view. Not everything will be technically feasible. Even if it is technically feasible, not everything will be viable from a business point of view. So the product should have something here: user desirable, technically feasible, or viable as a business. But there are always overlaps, okay? So for example, product innovation is visible to the final user while process innovation is not, okay? So if you look at it, there is something called functional innovation, emotional innovation, and process innovation, okay? So sorry, this is, okay, this is here, okay? So function, that's also not, I don't know why, okay. It's here, okay? So functional meaning user desire it, technically feasible, but business may not be viable, okay? So a lot of money is required. Governments can do this, okay? Because the government generally, not in a negative manner, they can put in a lot of money, okay? Now, other one is emotional. Technically, it's not very good, but you have a lot of money. So you can have gold used for, toilets, okay? User disability, people want that, okay? Or process innovation, users may not know anything about it. So UPI, people don't know anything about it, but people use it, okay? You can use it. So, functional innovation is like Sony PS3, the PlayStation, for example. And emotional innovation, silver cell phone, silver or gold, okay? Process innovation is assembly line, making cars, okay? So there are quite a number of things. It is required because they have a product out of it, and users may not have any idea about it, okay? Users doesn't want the assembly line. They are asking for a product as an outcome of that assembly line. That's the difference. Okay. So design thinking, basically you have to have the empathy, design centric or user centric or student centric, customer focus. You have to experiment and you have to modify your interactions with your students, see how that impacts, and then give different scenarios, also use visualizations too. Okay. So we are coming to the end. I did not play back the audio video, but there is a homework. Okay. Watch the video innovation through design thinking. You can search for it. There's a, you can, it is there in here. I can share that through the chat window. Okay. And then read the article Design Thinking by Tim Brown, Harvard Business Review. So I'll copy the whole lot and share it over the, okay. And then share your thoughts on design thinking methodology, each of you to comment. I don't know how to do this. Do you have a learning management system? Or how do you share, or you have a Google something where you can do this?
We will create some Google form so that
Okay.
next section can be done.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, okay? So please do that. And today I would like to end with, this is a quite 54 minutes, okay? You can read that. This is the one I asked you to watch. Let me know whether you can hear the audio.
Deep dive. One company's secret weapon
Can you hear the audio?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
for innovation. We went to IDEO, the product design folk, and said, take something old and familiar, like, say, the shopping cart, and completely redesign it for us in just 5 days. ABC News correspondent Jack Smith tells us what happened next.
9 in the morning, day one, and these people have a deadline to meet.
So welcome to the kickoff of the shopping cart project.
This is Palo Alto, California, in the heart of Silicon Valley, and these are designers at IDEO, probably the most influential product development firm in the world. IDEO has designed everything from high-tech medical equipment to the 25-foot mechanical whale in the movie Free Willy, and the first computer mouse for Apple. Smith ski goggles, Nike sunglasses, NEC computer screens, hundreds of products we take for granted.
The point is that we're not actually experts at any given area. You know, we're kind of experts on the process of how you design stuff. So we don't care if you give us a toothbrush, a toothpaste tube, a tractor, a space shuttle, you know, a chair. It's all the same to us. We want to figure out how to innovate by using our process, applying it.
Project leader is Peter Skillman, a 35-year-old Stanford engineer. Project leader because he's good with groups, not because of seniority. He's only been at IDEO for 6 years. The rest of the team is eclectic, but that's typical here. Whitney Mortimer, Harvard MBA. Peter Coughlin, linguist. Tom Kelly, Dave's brother, marketing expert. Jane Fulton-Suri, psychologist. Alex Kazaks, 26, a biology major, who's turned down medical school 3 times because he's having too much fun at IDEO. Safety emerges early as an important issue.
22,000 child injuries a year, which is, and so they're hospitalized injuries. I mean, there are many others.
And theft. It turns out a lot of carts are stolen. As the team works, it becomes clear there are no titles here, no permanent assignments.
The other side says, gives us a lot of help, says, be safe. I'll give you a big red ball on a post, and that says you're a big guy. If you got a ball, you're a senior vice president. You know, what do I get? The desk, the red ball, it's all the same. In a very innovative culture, you can't have a kind of hierarchy of here's the boss and the next person down, the next person down, the next person down, because it's impossible that the boss is the one who's had the insightful experience with shopping carts. It's just not possible.
The team splits into groups to find out firsthand what the people who use, make, and repair shopping carts really think.
Okay, go.
The problem with the plastic cart is the wind catches it. Yeah. And these things have been clocked at 35 across the parking lot.
Oh, man, that's actually a pretty good point. The trick is to find these real experts, and so that you can learn much more quickly than you could by just kind of doing it the normal way and trying to learn about it yourself.
From everything I read, these things aren't that safe either, you know? So probably the seat itself is going to have to be redesigned.
One of the interesting things for me is looking at how people really don't like to let go of the cart, except for the professional shopper, whose strategy is to leave the cart at various places.
3:30 in the afternoon, and the group is back at IDEO. There is no let-up.
Each team is going to demonstrate and communicate and share everything that they've learned today.
A shopping cart has been clocked at 35 miles an hour traveling through a parking lot in the wind.
We were in the store, what, 2 hours, and it was truly frightening just to see the kind of stuff going on.
You got to designate some people to make damn sure that the store owner's point of view is represented.
After 9 straight hours, the team is tired. They call it a day.
So,
Everybody cool?
well, that's great. Thanks a lot. We had a great time today.
IDEO's mantra for innovation is written everywhere. One conversation at a time. Stay focused. Encourage wild ideas. Defer judgment. Build on the ideas of others.
That's the hardest thing for people to do, is to restrain themselves from criticizing an idea. So if anybody starts to nail an idea, they get the bell. You know?
The ideas pour out and are posted on the walls.
Oh, the blind, the privacy blind. Like when you're buying 6 cases of condoms, no one sees. If it doesn't nest, we don't have a solution.
Organized chaos. It's not organized. What it is it's focused chaos.
Vote with your Post-it, not with an idea that's cool, but with an idea that's cool and buildable. If it's too far out there and it can't be built in a day, then I don't think we should vote on it. Enlightened trial and error succeeds over the planning of lone genius.
Enlightened trial and error succeeds over the planning of the lone genius. If anything sums up IDEO's approach, that is it. Worried that the team is drifting, what can only be called a group of self-appointed adults under Dave Kelly holds an informal side session.
4 or 5 teams. 4 or 5 teams, and we give each team a need area. It becomes very autocratic for a very short period of time in defining what things people are going to work on.
If you don't work under time constraints, you could never get anything done because it's a messy process and go on forever.
Back at the shop, it is 6 o'clock, and the 4 mock-ups are ready for showing.
Baskets also can be, if you think we will have more volume, baskets can be put in.
A modular shopping cart you pile hand baskets onto. A high-tech cart that gets you through the traffic jam at checkout.
That you could mount a scanner on the shopping cart so that you as the customer, as you pull it off the shelf, would scan each item.
One that's built around child safety, and another that lets shoppers talk to the supermarket staff remotely.
Yeah, where can I find a yogurt?
But the adults, again, decide more work needs to be done before the mock-ups can be combined into one last prototype.
Why don't we have all the carts come up here for a second?
I think you take a piece of each one of these ideas and kind of back it off a little bit and then put it in the design.
The design is still not there. But there's another motto at IDEO: fail often in order to succeed sooner. And some of the team will be up half the night trying to put together a design that finally does work.
There it is! So we took the best elements out of each prototype.
The cart, which is designed to cost about the same as today's carts, is different in every other way. What do you think?
Well, I'm very proud of the team. I think it's great.
Does this work for you?
Works for me great. It's also beautiful.
The cart's wheels turn 90 degrees so it can move sideways. No more lifting up the rear in a tight spot. And you shop in a totally different way. The bags are hung on hooks on the cart's frame. Remember, there is no basket here.
At first, I was a little shocked, but I think you have some fantastic ideas here. It needs a little refining, but I think that it's great. I mean, we would want them.
She also gave us some really good comments about how we can make this thing better.
A lot of hours. Also, an open mind, a boss who demands fresh ideas be quirky and clash with his, a belief that chaos can be constructive, and teamwork. A great deal of teamwork. And these are the recipe for how innovation takes place.
Do you know when this was done? Most of the ideas were not there at that time. It was done, this video is 20 years or so more. More than, I think, quite old video. So at that time, video, this is, it is published, sorry. But it is 13 years back it was published, okay, 13 years back. And yeah, it's quite an old video actually. So here, definitely you can go through it again, and quite a lot of things are there. Next Saturday, I'll ask you about what you learned from that, okay? So that is also another idea. So, we have to manage that homework for next week, right? So how do we do that? I mean, they have some mechanism to do it, right?
Yes, sir. Yes. Can you unmute? Hello, am I audible, sir?
We can hear you.
Yes.
Dr.
Just one request was there. Next week class, can we have it at 3 p.m. or so, as per IST?
Singapore in Indian time.
Yeah, 3 p.m. because we have alumni meet here in the morning.
Okay, 3 meaning 5:30. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yes, 5:30 to, yeah, in Singapore time. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that is March 18th, right?
Yeah, but we may have to make it, I mean, we'll have a 2-hour session, right? Because immediately after that, I think we have the same link being used by GIST for other purposes.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
We will create maybe one more link
for Zoom.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. But then maybe you'll have to share the video then with us as well.
Yeah. You take care of that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'll do that. Yeah.
So quick, I mean, I ask you, how was it today? Not to please me, but was it useful to you?
Yes, we have decided, in fact, to do some like interaction in between before we meet on Saturday, so as to make it effective. Maybe, I don't know, in this week I'm traveling, but Shirsagar madam will take care. So like intermediate day also we will consider, so that whatever you taught in 2 hours, we will try to digest it, have our internal some kind of interaction. So it was good. You taught us various processes. I hope our faculty members, based on these keywords, etc., they will go into the book. We have already shared PDF book copy in our library. We have brought the hard copies also, and Shirsagar madam got the material from the author also. She will try to send you, all of you. So please keep doing surfing and spending at least half an hour a day till you come to next lecture. That will be more effective.
Okay. Yeah.
And so as regards the assignment also, let us know how we can, I mean, it is better if we give at least a day for Pralhadji to overlook, I mean, to overview the whole assignment.
Yes.
Because the other assignment was too much on the edge for him to go through. Fortunately, he was in the Singapore time zone, so he woke up earlier and he got a read on the material. But it would be good if we could give a day for him to, go.
Yes, this time we will close the Thursday. Evening will be the last date, and by today evening, Shirsagar madam will prepare Google form and send. I will guide her how to do that. And everyone start doing, and by Thursday evening you have to close it. She will also create some note guiding how to do that, and maybe she will put it on our FDP group whether we have understood it correctly, and then Pralhadji can comment on it for further improvement.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it
Sure,
good?
sure. Yes.
Yeah, I think the main aspect is how do you share individuals' comments and individuals' writing. It can be a small paragraph.
So
not
no, we will create some small Google form, and that
Oh,
Excel
okay.
sheet will be shared to you, and everyone can upload their doc file on that Google form.
Okay.
So that it will not be disclosed to others until you say it disclose.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah. And Dr. Pawar, do you want to show the robot team quickly to Dr. Prahlad? We talked about it last time. Dr. Misal? Yeah.
Dr. Misal, can you respond?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Yeah.
My students, Sabka sir is in coordinating that. Students are there. They will show it.
Okay. Students are outside. We'll wait for 2 minutes them to come here.
Yeah.
Okay. They are undergraduate students, right?
They are diploma students. Actually, diploma course is after 10th standard. It's a 3 years course.
And students are from second year.
And students are from second year. So maybe 18-year to 19-year-old. They are 17 to 19 year.
Okay.
Let's see. I have also not seen. I am also curious.
Will you be sharing something on the screen? So can I give it the sharing rights to one of you all if you are presenting on the screen, or how is it?
Yes, I don't know. Maybe they are showing physically.
Okay.
So our login here is what?
No, I'll give it to Sweri Pandarpur. Yes, I'll give it to Sweri.
So once they come, I will move the webcam to them.
Yeah, sure.
So today it was overlap of that venue, so we have to shift. We also learned to quick respond, making new hall arrangements. So we brought, these are our classrooms, you can see.
Okay.
So all our classrooms are equipped with projectors, and this is how you look. You can see face lag, you can do up and down. Yes, so this is. You watching the
So Sweri team, you're the co-host now. So if you want to present something on the screen, you're
yes.
share a presentation.
You just give 1 or 2 minutes, they are coming.
Yeah, sure.
Madam, तुम्हारे video में
I think I will stop the recording now.
Yeah.